Here's what someone said can't be done. In this video on this channel, someone commented that Midjourney can't create consistent characters from real people. And I know that's not true because I do it all the time. And today I'm going to prove them wrong by turning an ordinary photo into a complete brand universe. So let's put this idea to the test. So our test subject today, hey, it's me. So I'm going to use a photo of myself because guess what? I don't have to get anyone's permission. However, this could be anyone, your client, a team member, or any regular person. In the video mentioned earlier, we used Keanu Reeves as John Wick, frankly, because, I'm a big fan of those movies, and who is it, right? And here's my favorite line. I once saw him kill 3 men in a bar with a pencil. I love that. All right, so here's today's goals. We're going to create consistent images across a variety of art styles, genres, sizes, and styles. It's got to match the photo, though. That's important. I'm going to show you the process, and you're going to see every step along the way. And I'll prove that commenter wrong somewhere along the line of the process. So why does this matter? Well, I've heard from plenty of people, including that YouTube comment, that getting consistent images is a struggle for them. So whether this is for client work, personal projects, or building a brand, consistency is everything. So use this video as a guide and test this on your own. Please share how this works for you in the comments. Right, so here's the foundational setup. We're going to be working with the Omni Reference tool, but we're also going to sprinkle in SREF codes, mood boards, seeds, and of course weights. Need a refresher on any of this stuff? We have you covered with other videos. We recommend these. And by the end of this video, though, you're going to have a complete system for character consistency that actually works. All right, well, hey, we're in Midjourney, and the first thing I need to do is upload my photo, and I'm going to use the one that I already showed you. So let me grab that real quick. It's right here. This is just a normal JPEG, nothing special, okay? We're going to lock that in so we can use it. And I've got a prompt already, man, head cut style illustration, monochrome, black and white. And then these numbers, if you're new to Midjourney, this is not a bunch of gobbledygook. This is actually all these sliders that we have here. You don't have to remember all this stuff. This just outputs what we have set up. So chaos, that's our variety. I don't know why they still call it chaos, but they do. AR 5:6, that's our aspect ratio. That's the size of the image. That's kind of a vertically oriented rectangle. EXP 50, that's a brand new parameter that stands for experimental. This kind of adds a little quality component to it. I kind of like it, so I've been playing around with it. We're going to use this EXP of 50. Our Omni weight, that's what's really important here. That's the Omni reference weight for our image. Now, that goes from 0 to 1,000, and normally I use 80, but because photos, we want the person to look like the person, sometimes you do it a little higher, and today we're going to start with 125. We might need to bump that up a little bit along the way. We'll see. And stylize 200, that's just our level of creativity. Both of those, we adjust a lot. And you're going to see that here soon. So if you've watched any of my videos, you know my favorite thing to do is to do the repeat command. And I like doing this because instead of getting one image, I'm going to get, 4 images in one go. I'm going to get 16 images right off the bat. And that's what we're going to do here. Okay, here's our set. As you can see, some of these look pretty good. Some of these are close. Some of these are nowhere even in the ballpark, okay? And this is what I'm going to tell you about doing this with real people is that Midjourney is an image creator, not an image editor. So it uses what you give it and the prompts, and then it interprets all that and gives you a result. Now, some of these are better than others, and that's okay. So what we want to do is find the ones that we really like, and we want to kind of push those a little bit. And the ones that we don't like, we don't really care about. Who cares? This is why I make 16 images. And frankly, sometimes I'll make a couple more because I know what's around the corner. And I never really hardly ever use the ones right off the bat. So let's just take a look at these. That one's not right. That one's not right. I like this one, but the hair's wrong. I wish I had hair like that. Nope. There you go. So I want to see what lives around the corner on this one. I'm going to hit very subtle, very strong. And what else can we get? That one's okay, but I'm not wearing glasses. There you go. Glasses are wrong, but that's okay. Let's hit very strong. And here comes our variations, right? So if I didn't like any of these, another thing you can do is just hit rerun. And I'll do that twice just to see what we get. Don't get worried if you don't get what you want, right? And sometimes you have to adjust. You have to adjust your omni weight. You have to adjust your style. Stylize command. So let's take a look at what we got. These are our varies. Very subtle, very strong. And then these are the re-rolls. I really like this one. This one's coming in really good. Okay, so let's take a look at these, right? Did we find any that we really like? That one's nice. That looks just like me. Except for this little signature thing. Hey, if you get stuff like this, this is just how easy it is to change that. Bingo, it's not there anymore, right? And if we wanted to, we could download that image. All right, so we like this one. Let's see if there's any other ones that are better than that one. I think we're going to go with this one. This is the reason why we want to figure this out, is because we're going to use the seed, okay? So what is a seed? Seed is, it's the origination point for this image. So we know that we got a good result with this. If we use the seed for all the other stuff we're going to create, we know we have a really good shot of creating other images that look like this. And to test this, so what we're going to do is we're going to use a new prompt, and it's got an SREF code in it, and this SREF is tied to a particular art style. And if you use this SREF code, you would have the same art style that's tied to that number. Now, so we're going to get the seed from the image that I liked, and we just hit this hamburger menu, hit copy, hit seed, and then we're going to paste it in. Now, let's make sure. We got our original photo, we got our seed, we got everything going. Let's just hit go. Now, you'll notice that this is a horizontal image, and that's because the aspect ratio was changed. Now, this is the totally tied to the art that we made. And I don't know what is going on with this guy, but this is totally wrong. So this is kind of a cartoon caricature, kind of a SREF code, which is why I picked it. And then as you can see, it makes a caricature of me. I mean, that's totally me. Look at the ears, look at the hair, look at the glasses. This is that style. Now, these other three clowns, I don't care about. All I care about is the one that looks like me. And that's what you should too. So I've got a bunch of other prompts I want to bang in here, right? And we're going to do the same thing. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to load them in. And then I'm going to punch in the seed. And then I'm going to hit go. And I'm going to do all these at once. And then we're going to run through them all and find the ones that we like. Now what I'm doing is I'm using the seed, right? That's important for this process. Now remember, we're going to play with these later. We're also, some of these have mood boards. We're doing a bunch of crazy stuff here. All right, that's the last one. So let's scroll down and see the ones that we've got. No, I don't do punk hair. Nope. That one's not too bad. Let's hit very strong and see what else we could get. Same with that one. Nope. Nope. Think that one's close, but no glasses. We need to hit very strong on that one, see what we can get. There you go. Now this one I did to choose to make a logo, right? And sometimes you need to make a logo for a client. That's the closest one. Let's do very strong a couple times and see what we get there. And normally I'm not doing a bunch of these things all at one time. I'm doing these individually. I don't like any of those. So let's hit rerun. All right, I like that one. Very subtle. This was good because it's got the drama. All right, let's look at these logos. Kind of like this one. There you go. Now, it's true. Some of these don't look like me, but some of them do, and that's what you got to play with. You got to play with the things that are on point. This character style, this isn't cutting it. And now this is what we have to do, is sometimes we have to start adjusting. And so let's work this out. So we're not getting what we want out of this caricature, right? So let's look at the prompt. And we've got an Omni weight of 200 and a style weight of 50. Maybe we need to adjust this. Let's do style of 40 and let's do an Omni weight of 300 and see if that dials it in a little better. And I remember the higher the number on your Omni weight, the closer it should look like the image. All right, that one. That looks just like me when I'm not wearing glasses. You know what we might have to do is add in black frame glasses because it keeps deleting it. So sometimes you got to adjust. There are logos. There you go. I like that a lot. There you go. Let's riff on that one. Now, hey, what's the signature? Is that somebody? No, that is just Midjourney knows that sometimes there's signatures here, so it puts one there. There you go. Is that a caricature of that guy? I think it is. So you can see you got to work the problem. You got to change some things. Look, I added black frame glasses. Look what I'm getting. You just have to change the prompt up a little bit, whether that's adding a word or editing or changing up your Omni reference or your style weight. You can't use the same prompt all the time. You have to adapt it a little bit. And that's where your feel as a creative person comes in as to what we need, right? Do we need it to look more like the image? What's missing? Let's add a prompt word. Maybe we need to dial back to creativity. Whatever, that's what's going to get you where you need to go. Boom. So there you have it. Same person, completely different art styles, genres, and aesthetics. All perfectly consistent across every single image. Look at the details in the ears, goatee, glasses, and other parts of the face. It's exactly the same. It looks the same, but it's styled differently. This is what we're talking about here. So we can get creative, maybe even a little sketchy on purpose. That commenter said couldn't be done with real people, but here's the proof that absolutely it can. And you could create a logo or a comic book character all using this system. So the key takeaways here, right? The secret isn't that Midjourney can't do consistency with real people. The secret is knowing how to work the system properly. You saw that not every image was perfect. We didn't show you everything perfect, ready to go. We showed you the process, right? We worked new ideas into it and we got to the end result that we wanted. So Omni Reference, the right weight settings and understanding how to guide the AI, that's the skill. And like any skill, it gets better with practice. So now it's your turn. Take a photo. Could be of yourself, a client, a team member. Test the system. Try different art styles, different scenarios, different aesthetics. See how consistent you can make your character across a complete brand universe, right? So the only way to learn to drive a car, of course, is to get behind the wheel and go. Midjourney is the same. And hey, if you want to take this even further, I deep dive into advanced character consistency techniques and a gazillion other relevant topics in the Midjourney Experience community. We cover things that just can't fit into a YouTube video. Plus, you can join me every Tuesday for a live Zoom call and let me help you with your work. Links in the description if you want to level up your consistency game. And do me a favor, if this helped you out, Smash that like button and let me know in the comments what character you're going to create. I read every single comment and I love seeing what you guys come up with. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.